Throw Gang, we are joined by the PFG MVP, Lauren Schlossman.
Reel him in.
And myself.
Is that Bugle Boy jeans you're wearing?
Hell no, ho. You know the Lady White Coat Polo. James Harris, little Trick Daddy reference to start off the Saturday podcast.
For the kids.
Saturday podcast.
Yeah, if anyone is record keeping at home, we are recording on a Saturday because that is how much we fucking care.
Hence the cold hard seltzers. The policy is preferably, or like I guess ideally, no drinking during weekday pods. But it's Saturday, baby.
Do you guys mind if the boys get dirty real quick? Oh, that made a mess everywhere.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Cheers to potting on Saturday.
Thank you for accommodating my little trip to the great white north.
No, I can't wait.
By which I mean Montreal.
I can't wait to hear about it. Are you familiar with, like, how well do you know The Sopranos?
I don't know. I did a rewatch during pandemic like everyone else.
Well, when Chris Moltisanti attempts getting sober, he has a great quote. There's no chemical solution to a spiritual problem. And I would say that's mainly correct unless we're talking about dirty water, baby.
We're going to get into all things fit and drink check.
Yeah.
But we first got to say welcome to the weekly Run of the Boys with today's full episode only available on
throwingfits.com.
Now, before we get into Supreme's latest fire sale offloading, but like not, the breakup of a legendary and influential duo. No, not Throwing Fits. We're still here. We ain't going nowhere. The show goes on.
It must go on, in fact.
And things we had to pretend we cared about. Let's get into...
Not podcasting, to be clear.
If we didn't care, we wouldn't be here on a beautiful summer Saturday.
It is so nice outside.
I know. Let's get into some very quick housekeeping, Lawrence. New franchise alert. What the fuck?
You're listening to a Boys Only on Tuesday, as always. But yesterday, we debuted a little thing that I guess we're calling codename Rec Center.
Yeah. Come on, that's a good name.
It is a good name, but I guess and we were debating, like, should we talk about this thing that right now in the moment on Saturday hasn't come out yet, but will be out.
You're working on it, right?
Hearing on it, yes.
Yeah.
But there are some people that consume podcasts through RSS feeds and maybe not the media hub that is throwingfits.com or throwingfits.substack.com. So we should sell it a little bit.
This is almost like, I mean, the idea for this, I don't know exactly when it started, but it's almost like so obvious. I'm surprised that, I don't know, it's not more doable or hasn't been more widespread yet. But like, essentially, anytime a product, a movie, a restaurant, an article, something one can consume is mentioned on the podcast, whether it's the goddamn motherfucking boys, whether it's the guest episodes with cultural luminaries, as they've been called,
cultural luminaries,
or Jimmy and Larry getting busy at the afters.
Yeah.
That is now all in one handy dandy guide that comes out every Monday, which lists out the week that was.
Yes.
So now it's like free fucking knowledge from the guests,
free
from
game,
Jimmy
bitch.
and Larry.
Yeah.
The pods are low-key shoppable, right? And look, you don't have to fucking, I mean, I think there are people, we see a lot of comments like, wait, what did they say that thing was? Or what did they say? Like, what was that store? What was that like rare store in like, Estonia that they mentioned? Now you can actually fucking put it, you have the guide for it.
Yeah, magnanimously speaking, this is, I think, a great tool in terms of like making sure that you don't miss anything that is recommended on the show. And then selfishly, now no one needs to be like, ID, what? And we can fucking move past that because we've done the work for you.
But now when they do, we just send them the link to the rec center.
Yes. Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yo, come join us at the rec center. We got a little lock-in going on.
Come join us at the fellas and girls club. All right, rec center, check it out. It came out yesterday. Or I guess if you're listening to the podcast on any day of the week, it comes out on Mondays.
Yes. Monday mornings.
Maybe afternoons. Let's get into a fit check, Lawrence.
You want to start?
I feel like I've been talking a lot. Why don't you start?
Okay, on the feet, I have Ghiaia Cashmere Jellies.
Not Guy Cashmere, just the jellies. Come on, bro.
Are you done?
Did you walk here in these?
Yeah.
Wait, so why are your Belgian loafers over there?
You know I fucking keep a loosey pair of kicks in the office. I specifically said, don't mention that, motherfucker.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
no,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you didn't.
Don't listen to me.
No, you didn't. When
Right,
did you say that?
So here's the deal. Let me give the intel to some audience at home. One, speaking generally about jellies. I don't know.
I really do not remember you saying that. I'm sorry.
Fucking shit. Generally speaking, 50,000 foot view on jellies. I don't know how sweaty
They stink.
I don't know how sweaty your dogs are. I don't know how sweaty the listeners' dogs are. Mine are somewhere in the middle. You cannot wear these without socks. It is just not possible.
But
I don't know how people do
wait,
it.
because of sweat?
Because the sweat slips. These are hemp, right? This is
Okay,
like a
but here's the thing about jellies is that the amount of material touching dog is so minimal, right? It's like
there's an entire sole touching
this
the
is
bottom
like
of your
this is
foot.
like okay. Besides the sole, the upper is like the bikini version of like the one piece, right?
Some might say it's exactly the same as a fisherman's sandal, just only in a different material.
Some would say that, and they're wrong.
All right, so my first rec, and I guess maybe if you're just walking from your car to the beach, you don't need socks. But if you are rocking jellies in the cities, like the dude from The Big Lebowski, I'm gonna say go socks.
Nasty.
Now, more specifically for the Guyana cashmere jellies, you should size up. I did not do that.
Oh, so they're
I went true to size.
plus you're wearing socks.
I'm hanging off a little bit, which is why, yes, I did wear Belgians to the office to change into my studio jellies. Maybe I'll just leave the jellies here.
Yeah, you can never go sockless, I feel like, in the city because you end up, if you're trudging around all day.
I go sockless in Belgians all the time.
In like open shoes.
Oh, yeah, and my toes are gross. I don't want anyone
What I'm saying is
like
that
seeing one sliver
you
of
end
my
up
busted-ass feet.
With the sweat, with the grime, with the dirt, with the fucking rat guts, you end up with this like, like paste under between like your feet and the shoes.
You're talking about city smegma?
Yeah. Bro, clean out that that dick cheese.
Is that a good title? That's fucking
pretty
gross.
good.
So
pretty disgusting.
to make the jellies manageable, I have on Shiro socks. The rest of the
Wait, Lawrence, before
Yes.
you, because I want to go back. I want to stay on the jellies for a second.
Okay.
Do your feet get this sweaty and disgusting in fisherman sandals?
No, not as bad.
Hmm.
It's definitely a material based.
So it's almost like they're two different types of shoes, or they're cousins. They're cousins.
I just mean they look the same.
No, they don't.
The shape, the straps,
No, they don't.
the
Maybe
slivers of material.
I don't know, bro.
Okay.
This really is like the thong bikini version of a shoe.
Moving on up. I feel like I can empathize the audience with a bit where I would hope that people listen to the only podcast that matters. And I don't want to say like they get influenced because I think that's a dirty little word, but I think they get inspired. And after the pods we did last week, which will come out later this week, one, an interview with a Substack luminary.
Yep.
And then the other, a fun afters as always. We talked a bit about white jeans and professional fishing gear. And I decided to, you know what? That was cool. I like those conversations. I was into what I saw, what I heard. I'm going to fucking wear them on pod. So I got on cowboy cut Wrangler jeans.
Wait, what are the socks?
I said Shiro socks.
Okay.
I have on the rare.
The white jeans. You're welcome. Inspired by Jimmy Harris.
Well, I mean, you were
Inspiration from Jimmy Harris.
You were wearing an accrue. Were they jeans? I forget.
No,
They're more pants.
No, they were pants.
But we had a whole conversation. We will have a whole conversation about white jeans.
Yes.
The good, the bad, the ugly that come with white jeans. I'm a fan of 501 white jeans and Wrangler cowboy cut white jeans. So I have on my Wranglers today. I have on a PFG in a very rare Kelly green colorway. I do not know if you can just buy these on the site right now. But
okay. In this colorway.
In this specific Kelly green, which is beautiful. And every time I wear, it's actually kind of, maybe this is a cosign to some and maybe a detriment to others, but every time I wear this, like online or if I see in person and this person, I run into this person, Mordecai Rubenstein is like fiending to get this specific Kelly green.
Do you know what,
PFG.
is this the Bahama? Is this the Tamiami?
It's the Bahama.
Okay,
The
so
long
right
sleeve.
now, oh shit, there's 14 colors. Right now you can get kind of like
Hit me.
like a powder blue,
Mhm.
a minty green,
Mhm.
icy white, a eggshell they call fossil, fucking looks like black or navy, another light blue, a lot of blues,
Yeah.
pinks. No, the only green you can really get is kind of this like more like like a darker,
Let me see.
kind of like
Oh, that is what our guest was wearing.
Really?
That one,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Which is it's cool because it's kind of like a little, I mean, obviously these are like sporting shirts, but that makes it a little kind of like work-weary or army-ish because of that. It's basically an olive.
Yeah.
An olive fatigue.
It's like a pale olive.
Yeah. Moving on up, the hat is a collaboration between our friends at Wythe and our friends at No Man Walks Alone store.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Green on green.
Shout out Willie for giving me the hat. The shades are Gucci.
Can I ask real quick about the tonal green on greenness? Like, is that a conscious maneuver, or was this kind of just you wanted to wear what you wanted to wear?
Should I give a little sauce away in terms of like how I do some matching when it comes to my fits?
Yeah.
I like to have no more than 2 elements in any fit that could be considered kind of like a 1-for-1 match, even if these are different greens. So it's like 2 green elements, 2 brown elements, because I didn't even mention I do have a brown Mon Italy Western belt, which kind of, I think, is similar enough to the brownish translucent hemp jellies.
When we were taking the fit pic, you did do the, let me move one shirt tail aside so you can see the dick dangle.
Let that shit dangle. And then obviously you have white socks and white jeans. So that's kind of like the method behind the madness of how I match. Anything more than that, I think, is a bit much.
Okay. I am kind of with you. I personally would never do the matchy items next to each other.
Oh, what about your pants and your shirt?
I don't think these match. I think they're tonal.
But they're in the, when I say match, I mean in the same color family. So these are both shades of brown. You are colorblind.
No. I think that...
Yes.
I don't think they're shades of brown.
Okay. What are they?
It's like a burnt sienna.
Dude, you are doing mental gymnastics to try to prove my point wrong.
Burnt sienna and like a nice little tan.
Okay. Anyway, well, first of all, this is my fit check. We'll get to it.
Great.
I'm
just saying green on green. Like green on green. I've never seen you do like fucking collar on collar next to each other. Usually it is like pant hat or pant shoes.
And to take it
or hat shoes
a little bit further, if you'll notice the embroidery kind of picks up the jellies in the belt with a little
but you weren't even wearing the jellies until you stepped to the office.
But I knew, but they were in my tote. Like they were, it was intentional.
Okay.
And I planned this all out at the crib 5 seconds before I left.
Okay.
Just to make sure. The underwear is Hill City. I don't know in next week's rec center what I'll do to link Hill City boxers. Maybe you could buy some used ones on eBay. Boxer briefs, rather. But
gently used.
They are fantastic. Rolling on the wrist, wedding ring on the thingy, wifey on the pinky, chrome on the other hand. Keeping it nasty with the dirty water because it's Saturday. I got my 6 milligram peppermint zins. I had a tropical vibe Celsius. I have Lower East Side's finest in my hydro flask, and I believe we can toss it to you, Jimbo. I said Gucci.
Okay, I'm wearing the dainty little Stofa Ballerina Boys. What is the shoe called?
The open lace?
The open lace.
Yeah. It's a gilly-laced fucking sneaker slipper hybrid.
With the tonal gray anonymism socks. Then moving on up, we got the Arlagace Workshop Stussy linen beach pants. I did not cop the blazer like you did at the Milano pop-up.
A lot of times when you do the thing where you text me the common John that you're going to wear so that we don't match up, I actually was planning on wearing those today.
Oh, fuck.
Before I pivoted to podcast mindset and was like, no, what? Let's go white jeans PFG. That was literally about to be ironed, but fucking thank God he texted me. We would have been on some fucking dork shit.
Yeah.
Though I always think it is cute when it happens where you want to kill yourself.
No, it's fucking, I do want to kill myself. I'm about to throw myself out the second floor window here.
Do you think you would? This would be like in the Dark Knight.
I think you'd break an ankle.
You break an ankle, maybe a leg. I'm pretty frail.
What happens?
Batman drops.
Falcone.
Tom Wilkinson's character. Is it Falcone? Yeah. And then he's like, what does he say? He's like, the fall's not going to kill me. He's like, I'm not planning on it.
No, I'm counting on it.
So good, dude.
Damn.
Yo, you see all the Dark Knight, because it was the anniversary, and they showed the Stephen A. Skip Bayless debate on First Take.
It was like Maggie Gyllenhaal is even a timepiece.
Yo, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Yo, Skip. Here's the thing about Maggie Gyllenhaal. She's fucking busted, man. They need a Beyonce in there. They need.
Is this your Stephen A?
I can't do this. I can't do any impressions.
Stop.
Preposterous. Maggie Gyllenhaal's her face is preposterous.
Oh my goodness. My apologies to all the subscribers that came over from the Laura Riley mention, all the girlies.
That was wonderful.
That was great.
It's cool. Are we past the paywall?
No, absolutely not.
15 minutes.
We're not even past the fit checks yet.
But it's been 15 minutes.
So?
Emily Sundberg on the pod next week, baby.
So So my fit check doesn't get to make in front of the paywall, but yours does.
But they all
fuck you. Keep it in, chef. Bleep the guest name. All right, I am wearing because I'm halfway through a fit check. I'm literally halfway through.
We don't give people fucking.
Yes, we do, bro.
It's
fit. It's post fit check. You don't know.
Every time?
You don't know. You're too busy doing the rec center. Okay, the polo, the burnt sienna polo, which is tonal with the get up from the neck down, but not in the same. It's not browns on browns on browns. All right, I'm doing earth. I'm doing desert right now. Lady White Co., which I always forget. Fucking great basics.
Click on the link in the rec center.
Super affordable, accessible price point.
Really?
Yeah.
How much is a polo like that?
I don't know. Tell me when you do the link for the rec center.
I will do. Should I look it up right now?
No.
Okay.
You're looking it up, aren't you?
Well,
you become a chronic looker-upper. It's like distracting.
But I love it. Oh, it's distracting to you?
Well, it's distracting to you because then you come in 30 seconds, 45 seconds later with like information that we've already gone past.
This exact polo is available on endclothing.com for 159 bonerinos.
All right, well, I definitely did not spend 159 bucks on this. The hat is a vintage Yankees cap from the boy Kevin at Fantasy Explosion. Bottega Veneta ring, Hanes boxers, sipping on Nalgene's finest, and a ice cold can of dirty water. We're about to have a dirty summer.
Damn, I should have fucked it. I'm gonna have to get another one of these at some point.
No, it's okay. You're not gonna have to. You don't have to leave the room. I don't think you're.
Do I?
Are you that compulsive? Whatever. If you gotta leave the room, unlock the door, go walk across the office to get a hard seltzer podcast.
A wise
I don't know
man
what to tell
once said 5 minutes ago that there's no chemical solution to a spiritual problem, but asterisk, dirty water never hurt.
Okay.
2 dirty waters never hurt.
All right. Fit checks, drink checks complete, and my guy might have to go get another drink. Lawrence, let's talk about Supreme dead. Luxottica buying Supreme for $1.5 billion at a $600 million loss.
Were you surprised when you saw this headline when it broke the news?
I guess so. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, real quick before we get into the details. It's kind of crazy that in this day and age, the year of our Lord, 2024, that the only time you read anything about Supreme is when they're getting flipped.
Well, yeah. And
that's troubling to me as a fan of the world famous Supreme team.
I've never been a Supreme guy. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
It did feel like Supreme was like cool again, mainly in that all the fucking herbs and losers had moved on from Supreme to Balenciaga and I don't know, like just wearing designer shit,
Bodhi.
Right? Yeah, just wearing designer shit.
Yeah.
So it felt like Supreme was at least like the fact that it's not in the news is almost a good thing.
You're
right?
not wrong.
It's just chugging along, doing its own thing, and that was allegedly the issue with its former owner and the owner's private equity VC money backing. Fucking, what's it called?
VF Corp?
No, VF Corp was the owner, but the VC was something really like a terrible name. Oh, I know what it is. Engaged Capital.
Yo, I love it when my capital is engaged with purchases.
Yo, when Engorged Capital comes a knocking, your shit better be hard and throbbing.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Okay, so Supreme allegedly wasn't like hitting the expectations that VF had set for it with the very active nudge, nudge, wink, wink, like, yo, I think Supreme should, from Engorged Capital, like, yo, Supreme should be like hitting these benchmarks.
Right.
They should be maximizing.
Did grow.
They should be maximizing shareholder capital, but not fast enough.
And only by like a measly $50 million or something.
Yeah. So it got offloaded very quickly to Luxottica. I don't know what Essilor is, but Luxottica, which, on the day of the sale, our boy Trevor Gorgie wearing the Luxottica tee. What did he know?
He texted me about it. He was like, "Damn, dude, I guess I wore Supreme on the pod, bro."
What did he know?
He knows a lot. We've established that he is a wonderkind by all fucking intents and purposes. Like, this kid is smart, but that is an amazing, hilarious coincidence.
Yeah. It sounded like the deal happened just because VF wanted to get rid of it. Luxottica was like, "We'll come at you. We're going to lowball you."
Straight up, dude.
Which is crazy that in 2024 for a streetwear company where it's like 1.5 billion, that's it.
Yeah.
When Supreme was sold for the first time to fucking Raytheon or whatever. The first one.
Yeah, fuck. Who owns Raytheon? Damn, what was that? Carlyle
Group.
Carlyle Group, yeah.
When it was first sold or major valuated over $1 billion, that was like huge news. Then it got sold for $2 billion. Then it got sold for 1.5, and everyone's like, 1.5 billion, that's it?
They were the first streetwear unicorn, using like, VC terms in terms of a unicorn equaling a B. And then I think after that, Montclair, which I know is not streetwear, but they were the next B. And then I think wasn't there another one? This is like happening, and maybe too soon, that these streetwear brands are like not really worth.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say Montclair's a streetwear, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of like is the Venn diagram of Supreme shoppers and Montclair shoppers, is there not some overlap?
In Europe, for sure. Champion sold for a bill.
Not Montclair, Stone Island. Stone Island was acquired by Montclair
there it is.
So it's Supreme B, Stone Island B. They collab with each other, so that's very much in line, actually. And yes, I know Stone Island is not streetwear, even if it became streetwear adjacent and beloved by that crowd. It is like an amazing sportswear brand with like crazy technical details and crazy heritage. But like the streetwear $1 billion brand is a trend that was happening, and I think there's one other example that I bet you we're cooling off on moving forward.
Yeah, Champion was sold for $1 billion.
There you go.
Well, that's like an American heritage sportswear comfort
a
basics
brand that also collabs with Supreme.
Boom.
There you go. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What's funny is, like, VF Corp, I think their intentions with Supreme was to like grow the brand, right? And like make it mainstream, like break into Asia, open up mad retail stores, just like fucking move product, continue at the meteoric rise that Supreme had forged for itself in its first 20 years.
And create the virtuous cycle between Supreme and the collaborators that were already in the VF Corp profile, portfolio, i.e. Vans and North Face and Timberland, I think.
Yo, I'm not a Supreme lover. I'm not necessarily a Supreme hater, but I will say props to James Jebbia for like keeping the corporate wolves at bay and being like, no, I'm just going to move along as I was and keep growing as I was, and not just like make it as big and as scalable, just like hit your benchmarks of like growth and maximizing shareholder value and, breakneck pace of expansion.
Nothing's more punk rock than failing to meet expectations of the people that you work for. And maybe like low key, like not losing money, because Supreme wasn't losing money, but not making enough money. That to me is very punk rock.
So with Luxottica buying it, and Luxottica we talked about this with Trevor, I believe. Luxottica is like a fucking monopoly.
The ultimate evil empire of sunglass licensing.
So Ray-Ban is their flagship product, but also Oakley, and they produce if you want to make sunglasses, you kind of almost have to go through or use Luxottica's white label services. There are some luxury brands that are like making their own, like a lot of the Kering and LVMH brands, I believe, are like just manufacturing their own, which is an anomaly and like a new phenomenon. Whereas before it was like 100% of the sunglasses were made by Luxottica. It was a chokehold. It was a monopoly.
There's and I've seen this with my own two eyes and found it fascinating. And maybe it would have been linked or maybe it will have been linked, because we kind of talked about it with Trevor a little bit, or alluded to it in the rec center that came out yesterday, or maybe it'll be next week if I'm wrong. But there's a great 60-minute segment on like literally like this is by like every definition a monopoly, and like low-key should not exist. Like Luxottica should not have this chokehold. And I think the pushback from your Kering brands and from your LVMH brands is like in direct opposition to be like, yo, fuck these guys.
Right. We're not going to we're not going to play by their rules. Produce at your parameters, pay your extortionist prices. But many people are saying that, okay, while VF Corp maybe was, purchased Supreme with the understanding that it was going to like just grow as a brand, and like everything that it was going to continue down the path it had forged for itself, but just at a breakneck speed. And you have these Engorged Capital motherfuckers. Like if you go to their
that could also be
if you go to their site, Engorged Capital,
it's so good.
Like you look at their team members, and it's all white men. They look like like RNC crisis actors. They look like the fucking people that
Are they Italian? Because isn't Luxottica Italian?
No, they're American. No, but this is VF Corp's VC Capital.
Okay, I see. Excuse me.
They're all like Wharton grads and fucking nepo ass, like
Masters of the universe type motherfuckers.
turkey neck motherfuckers. Not that I have a jawline or anything, but like it's all like bald ass. Like there's one Asian. Shout out Andrew Jung, the CFO.
Woo. Oh, he's C-suite. Let's go, baby.
And then Carol Tang, accounting manager.
Also, low-key racist. You making your CFO Asian?
I know. And then there's
Optics.
the second other female is a associate. But these guys all look like they were fucking hitting Grindr at the Republican National Convention, just fucking sucking dick in Milwaukee's one gay club. Closeted, there's nothing wrong with sucking dick. I'm just saying these
Live
guys
your
like
truth. Be yourself.
But like be out, be proud. Glenn W. Welling, principal and chief investment officer. Come on, bro. We all know you're gay, Glenn. Yeah, your name's Glenn. But with Luxottica, excuse me, my mind's still in the gay club in Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
Yeah. Cream City, dude.
With Luxottica.
Did anyone make that joke on Twitter? Like, it's Cream City.
No. Damn. Fuck.
Hell yeah. Shout out Cream City, dude. I know Grindr was fucking.
There was a video of some guy going through Grindr and it was like, it was like 1 mile radius and it was like popping. It was popping.
I also saw a funny thing where like even if all these in the closet gay guys are in Cream City looking to bust, all of the local bars were leaning into having a drag show programming because they know that these guys, no matter how thirsty they are for cock and balls, like that's like they can't be seen,
right?
Because that's like drag queens are reading to our children in the library. Oh my God, make America straight again.
Well. This was like, we need Vice to come back and be like, have someone write like, I went to the RNC and got plowed by like seven congressmen
and got railed.
Yeah,
by Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, I got raped by Matt Gaetz.
I mean, gay is in his name,
right? Although he prefers them young and female.
Oh yeah, he does.
Did you see Mel Ottenberg?
No.
At the
RNC.
No. So at the RNC in 2008, I don't know, like early 2000s, it was in New York City.
Oh really?
And he's like, I went to the Cock. And there were these two straight guys there, straight-looking guys. And I'm like, hey, what's up? What's your deal?
Presenting.
And he went home with them. And he fucked them both. Turns out they're both Secret Service guys.
Woo.
And he's laying on the bed naked, just like playing with their guns. Pow.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
God damn, dude.
And I was like, awesome. Yo, was it a Glock 9-inch? Like joking. He's like, I had to look up what a Glock 9 was. And it was. I was like, no, Mel, I'm making a dick pun. I'm not asking about the type of gun you're playing with.
Talking about the caliber of their meat missiles.
Yeah. Fucking
dude, Mel's
they're
best.
Pocket rockets.
Friend of the show, all-time podcast. Go back to the archives on throwingfits.substack.com to peep game.
Absolutely. But yeah, imagine just like fucking, like, I mean, you're taking like they have to take a bullet. But they're taking a body.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude.
From fucking Mel.
Those guys motherfucking dodging cum shots left and right, dude. They're trained for it, bro.
No, they got to put themselves in harm's way. No! Oh, my eyes!
This is literally the Chappelle of the sperm.
Oh.
Don't fucking clip that out.
Okay, back to streetwear business.
Right. Luxottica.
Luxottica. So everyone's like, oh, Luxottica bought it because, they have Ray-Ban. They have these like flagship brands, but they're like institutions, but they're not like necessarily cool. And they're not like necessarily tapped into like the younger market. But so, they got their hands on Supreme. And one person was like, this is a quote from the Financial Times. Yeah, the FT, paper record. Luxottica,
the pink lady.
Luxottica planned to expand Supreme's eyewear line, including through the launch of Supreme Meta, like Facebook, smart glasses, to build on the success, editor's own, of its Ray-Ban Meta glasses. I didn't know that the Ray-Ban Meta glasses were successful.
The only guy I know that's using them is Blake the Man 1000, who is vlogging via first-person shooter mode to very hilarious effect. How much even are those? Are they like an expensive piece of tech?
I don't know.
It's just a new Google Glass, right?
I mean, this has got to be like the fourth time that people start to make like smart glasses.
Wearables.
Google Glass, Snapchat ones, which I had.
Yeah.
They were horrendous.
Yeah, they're so bad.
Did not even get to administer a single back shot wearing them.
I was going to say, that's like the best thing would be to wear them during sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
With a consenting partner or partners.
Fuck snapshots. I want back shots.
Yeah.
Okay, these cost $299.
That's not crazy. There are luxury shades that don't let you do POV style porn that are more expensive.
Yeah, so they can capture photos and videos when voice prompted, play music and podcasts. Yo, shout out fucking Ray-Ban Meta, bro. Yo, if you listen to this podcast on your Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses, shout out to you fucking virgin.
Remember the T-Pain signature model Oakleys that just had the earbuds? Those were fucking ahead of their time, dude.
They can also answer your most curious questions with a built-in Meta AI. So, I guess they're like kind of leaning into VR,
Dystopian
Meta
vibes.
AI, and then like Meta apparently is gonna maybe invest in Luxottica to kind of tap into Supreme. And here's my question, right? Is if Luxottica bought Supreme not to like grow Supreme the clothing brand, but to kind of acquire the consumer habit information of the Supreme customer, because that's super valuable.
Sure,
you are your data, right? People like your data gets sold fucking 15 times a day.
We're selling it right now, by the way.
We don't know how, but it's probably happening.
But we're gonna find out.
It's probably happening. We're gonna Google how to sell your data, and we're gonna do it. So if they're just buying Supreme to acquire the customer audience data, consumer habits, like one, that's crazy, right? Because you're not.
Is that
that's good for Supreme, because if Supreme could just like grow on its own terms and like continue as is, fine. But it's also like, are they really tapping into a younger consumer database? Because who's buying Supreme now? It's like 40-year-old fucking.
Yeah.
It's the Supreme guy. It's the streetwear guys that are now sober in run clubs, or they're dead, or they play golf, right? Yeah. I don't think Gen Z youngians are fucking buying Supreme, even though it no longer is like the her brand du jour.
No, I think it's like, all right, so here's the data we got from this 45-year-old customer, or one of our 1% of all customers. Like, okay, so he's raising his kids.
Yeah.
He sneaks 3 Miller Lights in the garage before Little League practice. Like, he loves to grill.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
He's watching preseason football on his phone at his kid's soccer game.
He loves to sports bet. Like, I don't know how this would necessarily apply to their business practices. I guess the thing for
it's like, okay, computer, create the archetype Supreme customer. And it's like, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. It is a Ray-Ban customer. Fuck. Well, we just wasted $1.5 billion.
The old Supreme, like, young guy, and then the new Supreme old head. The only thing that they have in common is that neither are fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
One was a virgin and one is maybe, at least on the surface, happily married, but he is not getting pussy from his wife.
No, he has to go to the RNC to get his dick wet. From a man.
The thing that I've always thought was a weak point in Supreme's offering, and again, this is coming from, I wouldn't say I'm a super fan anymore, but at least the apologist on this show.
You bought some Supreme recently. You're about to get so many more Ray-Ban emails, by the way.
I bought the Meta. I bought the leather jorts.
Yeah.
Meta
jorts. And now you're gonna get emails like, "What's up, Rizzler? You want some fucking leather Wayfarers?"
I need the Meta technology in the leather jorts so that I can do like super cool piss videos, dude. Like the 360-degree no scope type shit.
Yeah. No, you make hey Meta jorts. Hey Meta leather jorts. How do I stop my dick from sweating so much in these fucking leather jorts?
They're not actually that bad, but I didn't wear them in the heat wave because I didn't even want to see. But the one product category I always thought was like pretty weak from Supreme was like their sunglasses. And they, just like Stussy and other streetwear brands, there's like a, small curated sunglass like drop that comes out every summer. I have never bought any Supreme sunglasses at retail. With that said, I don't know if you remember, but one of the first forays into eyewear, I believe, from Supreme was an Oakley collab during peak frog skin. Remember when the frog skin was everywhere? And the only reason I got those on the resale market way longer after they came out was because they came with an accessory that is maybe, gun to head, my favorite Supreme product of all time, which is they did custom Supreme croquis that came with the frog skins. I bought them from... Who's that kid that came on the show on our old pod that was a collector? What was his name?
Joe?
No, Joe's brother.
Eric
Whiteback.
Eric Whiteback.
Speaking of the RNC.
Yeah. Damn. That's actually
whitebacks.
That's a slur that Mexicans use to describe Americans.
for gay Americans. What's up with all these white backs coming into our country? So for me, it's like, so part of me is
shut the border. All these white backs are clogging up Mexico City.
Yeah. So part of me is like the fact that Luxottica can make any type of sunglasses like that known to man or have yet to be known to man. Like maybe the Supreme Shades offering will become more robust and better, but like that's not who I look to buy shades.
Yeah, I go to Sun Buddies.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Sun Buddies
and Vintage.
Or crap eyewear.
The shades are Sun Buddies, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like
sunglasses, more sunglasses is not going to change the bottom line. Now, if they're in every sunglass hut in every duty-free shop in the mall, maybe.
That's why I don't think that they bought Supreme to grow Supreme and grow the Supreme bottom line. They bought Supreme to learn about, to help their other flagship, even bigger brand. Because Ray-Ban is like a true global behemoth, right? But eventually it's going to phase out. So I think that they bought Supreme to kind of like help segue or grease the wheels of their like much larger eyewear brands and other brands, not just eyewear, because they're clearly diversifying into like a new consumer base or just like a new consumer behavior.
Ray-Ban is actually a super interesting case study because when Luxottica acquired Ray-Ban, I don't know if there was like a licensing deal before they just fucking ate up the whole pie, and just fucking Google this for yourself to find out what exactly we're talking about. But the point stands is that Ray-Ban for the longest time was like the number one like heritage sunglasses brand in the world, in America, and then they were acquired by Luxottica in some sense, and now it's like this behemoth, like it's the number one name in sunglasses, and it wasn't always that way. They were a cool heritage brand that made like iconic frames, invented the Wayfarer, invented the fucking Clubmaster, etc. And like think about, if you were to extrapolate that with Supreme, is there like, first of all, I don't know if you would consider Supreme like a streetwear heritage brand if we were to like kind of fucking match those things together
at this point.
But like
right?
in 20 years,
it's 30 years old.
But in 20 years from now, if this goes, unless they flip them again, which at this point is happening every fucking 8 months.
Maybe we can afford them depending on how the Substack goes.
Yeah, are we going to like look back and see a kind of Ray-Ban scenario where it was this more like, and I know Supreme isn't like niche, but like, was it this thing that like our parents didn't know about that, and even though our parents will probably be dead in 20 years?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not, but let's be real. Like,
you might be dead in 20 years.
That's true.
You will be dead in 20 years.
Okay, don't put that demon on me.
Get your Substack subscription in now because Lawrence is going to be dead at some point in the next 20 years.
But like, will we look back and it will be like, yo, Luxottica, because of pimping out the name on shades throughout the globe, will they be like this fucking, brand that is a household name? I don't know.
Well, how will that make you feel? Like, yo, you wasn't there. You wasn't there when I was buying the leather jorts and pissing, 360 rotoscope through them.
I won't feel anything because I will, like you said, most likely be planted in the ground.
That's true.
At that point, so I'll have no opinion on the matter whatsoever.
Well, do you want to be cremated?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you want to dump your ashes out on Lafayette?
On Bowery? No, I don't know. Shit, where would I want my ashes dumped?
Clando? In your parents' pool.
In that back room of Clando, or that outdoor area.
You want people to just snort you? Is that what it is?
That would be tight, dude.
That would suck.
That would be tight.
I know someone that I know.
Salute me or snort me.
Yeah, this dude I went to school with. His dad was an artist, and his friend died, and or a musician, and his friends rolled up some of his ashes with like into a spliff, and they smoked him. That was his like wish.
Pretty gross. Actually.
Is that cannibalism? It might be.
I don't think so. Is it? Nah.
Yo,
we've talked a lot about cannibalism already this month.
If you're not freebasing your homies, what are you doing?
I mean, shit, dude. Fucking freedom of the heart, dude. I don't know.
I just think that there's got to be like, okay, Luxottica is this like massive global multinational conglomerate. Evil. And there's got to be some like mid-level guys. And again, I'm only going off Engorged Capital, even though they're the former owners of Supreme via the investment through VF Corp. But if you have guys that are like Patrick Roy, who, has a BA in economics, cum laude from Notre Dame, and like Tom Flannery from
Wait, these real people?
These are real people.
You're back on the fucking masthead?
He's an analist. It's like these are the guys that are like, no, dog. Like Supreme's mad cool. Like, yo, the kids love Supreme. Like Supreme to the moon, bro. Like telling their upper management that are then like, putting, like, oh, should we actually buy this shit?
Are those guys that naive?
I mean, no, I don't think
position like that if you don't have some fucking industry knowledge.
Yeah, and I don't think you're making $1.5 billion purchases based on like, that little herb, that, that little fuck that threw up at the club at the holiday party. Yeah, he said Supreme's mad cool, so like maybe we should buy it for a fucking yard and a half.
Yeah, you remember the homie that can't handle his Don Julio?
Yeah,
1942. Yeah.
Remember the little intern that we ran a train on Mel Ottenberg with? Yeah, he said we should fucking cop Supreme.
I was running a train with him and I saw this interesting pair of underwear he was wearing with the waistband that said Supreme on it, and I feel like that kid knows what's up, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's good for Supreme. I think it's in that they can hopefully just like continue to just like do what they want to do, which is again just all anyone would ever should ask for. I just want to do what I want. I just want to grow my business the way I want to grow my business.
Luxottica, they're Italian, right?
Yes,
and
but yes, but no.
Right, but like right. It's a conglomerate at this point. But like, and they're the globalization of every industry at this point. No, I think that Italians know clothes more than one, people that make fucking weapons of mass destruction, and then two, fucking finance herbs that own a portfolio of a bunch of like mid-level fucking skate and street brands and lifestyle brands. Like, I think the Italians might be best suited for the job, even if I have never seen more fake Supreme in my entire life than in Italy.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been to Asia.
Well, the only time I think Supreme took like legal action besides against Leah McSweeney.
Oh, true.
And
Supreme bitch.
Yeah. I think they like took legal action, like shut down fake Supreme stores in Italy. Because there were stores in Italy that were just like Supreme.
Yeah, straight up.
Okay, the CEO of Luxottica Group SPA is Francesco Milleri.
That's an Italian.
He's an Italian. He's from Città di Castello. He went to University of Firenze. Guess what Luxottica's net worth is as of 3 days ago?
The net worth of, you mean like their
of Essilor Luxottica market cap or net worth?
Okay, market cap of Luxottica. Can you give me an over under?
No.
Fuck, dude. I'm gonna say $64 billion.
Go up 50%.
Damn.
$94.4 billion. That's a lot of lira.
I was gonna say that's a lot of fucking sunnies, dog. Jesus Christ,
bro. I'm looking at some stock.
They got that whole fucking industry in a chokehold, dude. Honestly, dude, the odds are, if you're listening to this, go to a pair of sunglasses. They were like made by Luxottica. 100%. That's who you paid.
At the end
you paid Francesco.
At the end of 2019, stock price fucking plummeted.
Ooh.
But in the past year, they've gone up 129%. I think that sounds good.
What was the bump from the news of the Supreme acquisition?
I think that I saw something where here I have it. I'll look up.
Drum roll.
I like to go to Financial Times, just do stock. Wait, hold on. Wait. So much pressure. Stop it. Fuck.
I don't even know if that's picking up anyway. That could have just been dead air. Just good podcasting,
VF, right?
Huh?
VF Corp?
I wanted to know.
Okay. Essilor Luxottica shares fell more than 4% in Wednesday morning trading. And VF Corp, I don't know if it went up or down.
Damn, so they acquired Supreme and the market reacted negatively.
Well,
is that how that usually works? I'm not a fucking finance guy.
Yeah,
I only have my BA in economics.
This is how it works, right? If a company has like massive layoffs, its stock goes up because people are like, "Oh, it's taking measures to cut costs."
Yeah, get rid of this human capital.
Yeah, this is a big risk on Luxottica's part to fucking throw a yard and a half at a fucking t-shirt brand. So I think the market might have been like, "Ooh, let's take our money out until we see where the smart money goes."
They literally spent 1% of their market cap, if not even like that. So
that's a lot.
Is it?
I think so.
1%?
I don't know.
Single digits?
I don't know.
All right. Well, anyway.
Ciao Francesco.
I'm actually really curious to see how this plays out. And here's the thing, right? In terms of all of these deals that have made headlines and maybe gone left, this is now the third for Supreme.
Crazy.
It has not changed how I've always thought about it, which is a new lookbook comes out. are there fucking Johns that I know are going to be affordable that I'm going to buy? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no. And then outside of that, on a bigger level, oh, they opened up a new store. There's a new skate video. Shout out fucking Bill Strobeck. Thank you. I'm going to watch that, give them a view on YouTube. Like, it doesn't really affect me, the consumer, because like none of these guys want to get involved with like the creative. Maybe they'll make more clothes. Maybe they're going to move away from the drop model. That would be the crazy thing for me is the drop model going to be fucking moited?
Like creating scarcity?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
who knows?
The only immediate action you're going to see as a consumer is you're going to get a lot more emails about Ray-Ban.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
like,
I already get fucking, dude, the amount of fucking Ray-Ban bullshit, whether real or fake, that gets served to me on Instagram because people get hacked typically around Christmas time. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Like, I already get a ton of Ray-Ban. And I'm someone who used to buy like a lot of Ray-Bans, even when I was like in my Johns enthusiast phase, like had just started, I would buy like Club Masters or Wayfarers, whatever. I probably haven't bought a pair of Ray-Bans in 10 years. So for me, I'm not buying more or less Ray-Bans.
I don't think I've ever owned a pair of Ray-Bans.
Maybe
like fake swag ones, like you get free ones, right?
Sure. You mean just like modeled off of a Wayfair, like a piece of?
No,
merch?
it's like, hey, you showed up to this thing. Here's some plastic Ray-Bans.
Oh, really? Like as merch?
I don't think I've ever bought Ray-Bans.
Yeah, huh. Yeah. I wonder
who makes Biden's aviators.
I think it's a American Optical, AO.
Okay.
I think.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, they got to fucking cover up those fucking glassed over dead eyes, dude. No, I think that.
Who are you talking to, Jack?
I mean, like okay. Here's what I will say, and I don't know if I'm going to be on my soothsayer shit, but if at some point in, let's give it the next 3 seasons, we see a just straight up pair of red Wayfarers that say Supreme on the side, shit will not be looking good for our boy JJ. I'll say that.
Or just like he's playing company, he's playing ball, he's giving the fucking vampires what they want, and then he's off over to the side. Yeah. Again, I'm like, yo, this shit, the fact that Supreme is like getting tossed around like a hot potato, I'm like, respect to James Jebbia, bro.
Because he's just not playing ball.
He's just not playing ball with these fucking vampire squids.
Or playing ball the way that he's always played. So he's not changing.
He's playing with his balls the way he's always been playing with them.
He's playing with his balls like it's the RNC.
Yeah. Left-handed because he's British. And they drive on the other side of the road sexually.
My last point is that in terms of the glass half full, like I said, Ray-Ban is a heritage brand. They've basically come up with every fucking iconic shape that you see from every other brand. There is probably an opportunity for Supreme, if they were handcuffed to do a Ray-Ban collab. I'm sure they could fucking dive into the archive and actually do some cool shit, but I do not want to see a red box logo arm aviator.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Do you think that Luxottica came to James Jebbia and said, now our operation is small, but there's a lot of potential for aggressive expansion.
Maybe, but they would have said it in an Italian.
Aggressive expansion.
Aggressive expansion.
Yeah. I'm the Joker, baby. Yeah, we should bring back Dark Knight voice.
I mean, it is the anniversary, so if we're ever gonna do it,
okay. Okay, let's talk about other huge news in the Johns world. Yeah. Fucking Online Ceramics breaking up. The brand is still around, but I don't know their names. It's like Funko and Rosso. Like they're parting ways.
Funko and Rosso. Yeah, they're two geniuses behind all. We should probably.
One of them has a neck tattoo like all the way out to the fucking jawline. Like,
well, one
super sick, hardcore,
one is a
dude.
Deadhead and one is a crust punk. Okay,
yeah,
it is Alex Ross and Elijah Funk.
Yeah, which is which?
You were mad close. Rosso and Funko.
Yeah. Wait, what are the names? Elijah Funk.
Alex Ross and Elijah Funk.
Great names.
Which one is which?
I think Elijah Funko is the one with the neck tats.
Yo, my man makes graphics that pop, dude. That's that Funko pop. No, I think that this is. I honestly.
Wait, which is which?
I don't know. I mean, okay, let me just.
Can you find out? I think that Funko is the one with the ear gauges and the neck tats.
Okay, Elijah Funk.
And also, when you say crust punk, I don't know which one which one is that?
Every picture of them is just okay. Elijah Funk. Here we go. Hold on. I got it. Okay. Bringing up a New York Times profile.
Wear those funky t-shirts, Elijah.
Okay. The tattooed guy is Alex Ross.
And he's the short hair.
Yes. And the shorter one. And the other guy is Alex Ross.
Okay. And of those two, which do you say is the crust punk and which is the deadhead? Because like that doesn't.
This is. I'm going to say that Elijah Funk is the crust punk with his hand tats. And then Alex Ross is the deadhead with a very clean, beautiful visage.
See, I think either could be that.
I don't know.
Right?
Crust
And also, he's wearing a Salem hoodie. I don't think deadheads wear Salem
I think they're
hoodies.
just cool guys with cool taste, which is why like online ceramics was the phenomenon that it was. So let's talk about it. Well, first of all, when I saw that headline, little bit of clickbait from our friends at Gents Court, because I was like, oh shit, dude, it's a wrap. We're going online ceramics. But really,
Nice.
It's just continuing.
Yeah.
With one guy.
Online ceramics, but it's one less guy, so it's the same, but it's not.
Yes.
Whatever
exactly.
your fucking brat master says.
Oh, Brat, see, you can't even stay away from Brat Summer, you little fucking
I'm tapping into the
thought.
I'm tapping into the Zeke Geist.
Yeah.
Yo, if something is happening where the subtitle is tits out, you know I'm there. Like
Horny Jimmy is locked in.
You know I'm showing up to the fucking. It doesn't matter.
My man is subscribed.
Yeah. Oh, there's a rally and there's tits out. It doesn't matter if there's fucking. Oh, it's like rally 88. What? Yeah, I'm there, bro.
Okay.
1488.
Rally 88.
Yeah,
That's got to be what, a white supremacist thing?
Yes.
88 Hitler.
Hail Hitler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yikes. Welcome to Substack.
Welcome our Will Riley referrals.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Um,
okay, let's talk
what?
about it.
Oh,
They were founded in 2016, the same year that we started.
That's going upwards.
Who would have thunk that as a duo we would have outlasted Gonline Ceramics?
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, you know why? Because we took some time off, and they never did. They were always just in the van.
I mean,
fucking hand screen printing shit out of their LA stew.
I was gonna say, but those like delivery dates
Oh my God.
seem like they did take some time off.
Oh my goodness.
I thought Sam Hines' scoop was great. Shout out fucking friend of the show, Sam Hines. The one thing that I was like, and I'll say it publicly, that was like, bro, you're glazing, is this whole idea of like the extremely delayed shipping was like part of
the charm?
The charm. No, it's not, dude. I know people that waited like years
Who do you
to
think-
get a Hereditary Online Ceramics A24 collab.
Yeah, she
Like,
was
what are
on.
we doing here, bro?
She was on Tubi by the time I was able to get my T-shirt.
My boy Julian, who you know, who loves horror movies, a big Halloween guy, big pumpkin head. I remember he got the Hereditary shit like for Halloween because it was being sold as like, yo, a Halloween drop, and this is one of the A24 collabs. I think it showed up at Christmas.
Fire.
And it's like, well, I got this for trick or treating with my family, and now I'm gonna just be like the creepiest guy at Christmas dinner.
Ordered my only experience ordering, at least according to my email, was I ordered something on October 4th, 2017, and it showed up a little over a month later, November 10th, 2017.
That's not so bad, but it's not a pre-order.
That's annoying.
But these aren't. So they were like almost doing the thing where anytime we've done a pre-order, or anyone does a pre-order, I think like the transparency needs to be there where like it's very clear that you're doing a pre-order. It's almost like these guys were like kind of like burying that, where everything you bought was a pre-order that would come much later, and then it was kind of like hidden under the guise of like, well, it's all hand screen printed by the Brain Trust in the fucking HQ in like the barn wherever in fucking Big Bear. I don't know where the fuck they were, but like that to me was always a bit like, okay, I see what you're doing here, but it's pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, but look, to their credit, I think that online ceramics will and should be thought of as incredibly influential.
Yes.
Right? Both on the merchification of everything
Mm-hmm.
and also just in their design language was incredibly, and it was right place, right time with like this, like, and they might have been kind of like, scratch my back, scratch yours with the Grateful Dead revival.
Mm-hmm.
That was like huge. And, you had, I think like the biggest merch thing before this was Ye.
Yes.
And like St. Pablo.
And even Yeezus, right?
And Yeezus,
with
yeah,
Wes
with like
Lang
Wes
and all
Lang.
that shit. And the Paxson deal, which was huge.
Yeah, and like
Bieber did it with Jerry Lorenzo,
Fear of God,
who was also there. Yeah,
I don't know when that was, but
the
the online ceramics, at least designs, felt like a radical departure from like everything else. I was just like incredibly obvious thing that is on your T-shirt, whereas this was like it's Grateful Dead, but they were selling them on Shake Street, and I remember they would literally post like like Grateful Dead would be or Dead & Co would be having or they'd be at a festival and they'd literally post on Instagram like, yo, this is kind of where we are on the lot. Pull up.
That's cool. I mean, that's a cool origin story. Also, I don't know if you remember this, and I don't know if the audience at home knows this, but both those guys were also freelance graphic designers at Stussy. So they were like there as well.
I don't know about both of them.
Oh, okay.
But it was both, whichever it is.
Yeah.
They were brought in at Stussy when Stussy got the juicy again.
Yeah.
And it was very obvious what like their kind of contributions were. Like when you go through like the lineup of like the t-shirts and shit. And I definitely copped like a Stussy tee that was absolutely had like a flora and fauna kind of like a guidebook vibe to it.
Sure.
With like mushrooms and like skulls and shit. But yeah, I think that their design influence was again just a radical departure where it's like it's not the merch is not an explicit like album name or like artist name. It's a language that is like adjacent to the thing itself. In this case, being Grateful Dead, and Grateful Dead is probably one of the few unique phenomena that can like say that they spawn this like design language around it that is like instantly recognizable, even if you're not like immediately, even if it doesn't say like Grateful Dead next to it.
I will say,
but this was a little spookier. It was a little vibier. And it was cool.
A little more smoked out, whether that's fucking green, whether that's DMT, whether that's something else. Dude, the bar for graphic design was so low. And obviously Kanye being like the cultural force he was aside with all that Yeezus stuff, which definitely was like probably the first domino to fall. If you'll remember, the most popular graphic design language before that at the time was, remember it would be like Balmain, but ballin', Hermes, but homie. So like the bar was
the best was herpes.
or like calm the fuck down type
oh my
shit.
God.
So
logo
like,
flips.
The logo flip bar. While like though people were like Rocky wore comb the fuck down, was it? Or was it
comb the fuck down? There's also like the Canal Street like fake bootlegs or like real bootlegs, but like
the Bintrill design language was kind of like in there too, where it was like a lot of shit emojis on like your shit, like
oh my God, bro, fucking
like that free Keef tee. Remember
Glow Gang,
dude, the Bintrill free Chief Keef shirt, that to me, that's a grail. Now that OC is continuing in like its own kind of 2.0 different way, do you think that like this era, which has been fucking, what are we talking about? We're talking about
8 years.
8 years. Will those become like grail status for people?
Maybe eventually. I mean, I have the one shirt I bought was about like I used up all my sick days, but I ended up dead or something.
Cool.
Which might be a Grateful Dead reference that I don't even know. And and then there was something else about like smoking DMT. And I would like wear it in the Def Jam offices, and people are like, "Yo, what the fuck is up with that dude?" Like, what the fuck is that guy? What fucking tie dye is that guy wearing?
Speaking of influential, dude, if you remember our first fucking merch, one of our first merch drops ever, as a previous podcast endeavor that shall not be named, we straight ripped off Online Ceramics for like the Barstool store, dude.
Yeah.
The pod is your god.
Well, the original was your ego is not your amigo, which I respect as a sentiment.
Right.
And then
for sure.
ours was the pod is not your god, which is
the pod.
bad.
The pod
is your god. Oh.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
And here we are 8 years later, hoping that hopefully the relationship has become more fucking of a two-way stream. Not trying to be anyone's god, but
I mean, look, if a brand is and they burn bright and they burn long, right? Mm-hmm. And I think in those early days it was cool, it was cool. Then it became got mainstreamification through like, especially when Grateful Dead became like a trend. Mm-hmm. And then it entered their commerce era where they're just doing all A24 shit.
That was too much.
They're doing like John Mayer merch. They're doing they became like the go-to merch guys, right?
The go-to cool merch guys.
But for like huge names.
Yeah. And every one of those was a collab. Like that's how popular and influential Online Ceramics was, where like they got top billing. It wasn't those guys are like ghost designing, even though it would be clear because their design language, like you said, is like.
Bro, they did a North Face collab. I forgot about that. That was actually kind of good.
But that was like the appeal. You kind of see it like. I don't want to like
Online Ceramics did a G-Shock.
You're kind of seeing it with Brain Dead now. Like Brain Dead is now like a go-to collaborator, but because people want Brain Dead in the streetwear newsletter headline, like I get it. For me, I only ever bought one piece of Online Ceramics. I went to like a Denim Tears Online Ceramics pop-up, and and I bought a shirt mainly because I loved the fit because I was fat at the time.
Okay.
And the XL really fucking draped perfectly over the juicy B's, and I looked good.
And they were cheap too. It was a $60, like $60 for a tee.
They fit good. I don't know if they were using. I don't think they were making their own blanks. Maybe
they used in the early days. They were using Everybody World.
Okay, right, which
is no longer around.
Right. Oh no. Oh right. What happened to them?
They weren't bought by VF Corp.
Okay, got it.
That's the Scott Sternberg brand that like went crazy during pandemic making sweatpants, and then it was in that weird middle area that brands enter where they're too big. They're too big to like run on their own rules and kind of like run their own ship, but they're too small to kind of just like coast and like crush it.
Yeah. But I think that my mindset in buying this tee, because one, I liked how it made me look and feel physically and mentally. And then two, I'm like I remember being like, I don't understand the reference that is happening. It was some like fucking transcendental jazz. I was like, I have no idea who this woman and guy are on the shirt. And this is, I think, the mindset that kind of like made, in a nutshell, made them fly a little too close to the sun, is because like I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I know it's cool. And when enough people do that, like I did, it then becomes kind of like not cool. And you see it happening with Bodhi. You saw it happen with Supreme. You see this happen with everyone. And I think that at a certain point, you have a kind of and I'm all for like buying a tee and like then diving into what's this movie Hereditary? What's going on here? I never heard of this thing. Oh wait, a bitch gets her head lopped off. Spoiler alert.
Who's this cool guy with a gun? Malcolm X?
Yeah, right. But I think that at a certain point there is a guy, there's a girl, there's a person who's buying this shit. They don't give a fuck to learn. They do not care. They're just like wearing it because they know the label is like acceptable.
Yeah, or it's like
and that's tough.
I mean, this is. Jonah Hill said this about Bodhi, where he's like, you enter a party, you walk into a room when you're wearing Bodhi, it's like, oh, look, it's the Bodhi guy.
Yeah.
With online ceramics, it became like, oh, look, like you wear it, you're like, yeah, I do. I'm more of a mushrooms guy.
Yeah, I'm like a microdose guy. No, I'm good. I don't need a line. I'm like microdosing right
now, I'm like more of on like the psychedelics tip right now. You know what I mean? Like
basically the worst guy at a party.
Yeah, and so it's like you walk around with an online ceramics, you're like, oh, look, that guy wants everyone to know that he does drugs.
Yeah.
And that aside, though, it's like with the graphic language being so specific and so individual to online ceramics, and forget the people that rip them off and the fucking fast fashion that just jacks it. Like, if a brand is defined by a graphic design language, will it inevitably fall off when
because they're not iterating?
When that graphic language is no longer like what's new and popping and something else becomes like the thing, versus like more stuff that's, you know, more about like the shape, silhouette, color, whatever.
Sure. You're pigeonholing yourself with graphic tees. It's tough. That's why so many people do it, because it's easy. You don't need to be. I think it's easier to be. Okay, this is going to be a fucking very general statement. I think gun to head, if you had to ask me, I would say that it is easier to be a graphic designer than a designer of like actual garments in terms of fabric, silhouette, and all the thing and finishings and all the things and production that go into making like real cut and sew, versus like, okay, we have a T shape that is good from a great fucking wholesale supplier. Let's just put a cool picture on it or that's a cool reference. That's easier.
Yeah, but then I would say that it's harder to kind of like retain relevancy, and and Supreme has done that, but also like and Stussy wears, you know, for decades now. But it's like you can't necessarily. Like when you talk about like Supreme design language, it's like, oh, it's like New York and skating. You talk about Supreme, it's like, oh, it's like kind of like West Coast surf skate vibes, like Aloha vibes. With online ceramics, it's like Grateful Dead.
Horror, Grateful. It's first of all, I hate the Grateful Dead. So for me, it's shitty music, arguably shitty movies, because I don't like horror movies either. And then one thing I do love, which is drugs. Yeah, that's kind of like the ingredients into the recipe.
Well, we talked about like the merch is merch dead? The merchification of kind of like you had the Yay stuff, you had the what else are you talking about? Like the bin trill, the Fear of God stuff, and that was all like a certain. It is so pegged to a certain moment in time, that it cannot retain relevancy past its like one moment. And that's kind of merch in general. And then that's why like merch becomes valuable again, which online ceramics might, when like it becomes so not of the moment that people are like, oh, look, remember this like exact this historical era, this miniature historical era that this piece of merch is like such a emblematic time capsule of.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So, I mean, 8 years. I mean, good on you, fucking
One
online ceramics.
Final thought before we move on. When I saw this headline, outside of being like interested in like the gossip of why it was leaving, where my brain immediately meant is one brand that I think was making even better merch at less of a fucking popularity clip that I feel like just deserves like a little bit of a shout out. And I don't know what's happening with this brand now is Boot Boys Biz. Those guys.
Boot Biz Boys.
Boot Biz Boys?
Yeah.
Boot Biz Boys. Excuse me. Triple B, dude. Triple B Dreams.
Big ball of Biz Boys.
I think those guys were operating in a vacuum that like happened to serendipitously align with some of the design language elements of online ceramics.
Chuck was their biggest fan.
Chuck was a huge fan.
And that's how you know it's good.
And maybe it was one of those things where, and even I'll like fucking throw in our boy Edgar and all after that there, where it's like, okay, if the references and the fucking interests more align with me, of course I'm going to like it better. But yo, fucking Boot Biz Boys. I don't know the status. I don't think they've posted on Instagram in like a year. And they were always kind of doing drops out of nowhere. They never went heavy in the collab game. They never got the big like 824 cosign like OC. But like that to me, I think if I was going to become a collector of this era, like you're saying, of this time in this place on my fucking Indiana Jones fucking relic shit, Indiana Jones relic shit, I would go BBB over OC every day.
Yeah, I need that fucking free Keith shirt though.
Yo, I bet you if you try to buy
it's on Grilled right now.
For what,
see.
like $500?
Let me see. I'll tell you. Let's see. 218.
It's a lot for a
900. Holy shit. This was the free keep with the hand at the bar.
And the emojis, right? Aren't there emojis on this guy?
I don't think on this one. They've the Glory Boys with like the drippy font on the shoulder, but
Great tee, great rapper.
I wonder what just like I saw a guy at 169 bar last summer wearing a Bin Trill tee, and I was like, that's almost cool, but you're a little too you're like 2 years too early.
Should I break out? I had like a Toronto exclusive.
Wait, the hockey jersey?
No, yeah, it was like a hockey jersey tee. I think it had a Maple Leaf. I wonder where that is.
Bro, should I cop this fucking 40-ounce NYC Bin Trill, the hashtag NY hashtag?
40-ounce van. What's he up to, dude?
Fucking
back shots.
Back shots on the spectacles. This was okay. The Travis Scott Bin Trill, I-80 Trill vibes.
Oh, that's a classic.
Was kind of hard.
That's the
real tree.
The real tree. That's a classic.
Bin Trill Hood by Air on the mint green tee for 181.
Dude.
Kind of hard.
Should we bring it back? We should bring these back, dude.
The Bin Trill Hood by Air, long sleeve with the football player with like the hashtags. Like this is.
I think is it Chris Johnson because he has grills, right? Who is the?
I believe so.
Who is the? Let's get our jock shit. What football player is on?
Oh, here you go. If you want to get the Toronto Bin Trill, it's a Nomad exclusive.
That's what it was. Shout out fucking Nomad.
You can get it in a size small for $72 on Grilled. So
who is
not that desirable, I guess.
No, who is this football player?
I don't know.
Is it Chris Johnson? I think it's Chris Johnson because do you remember Chris Johnson played with grills? Fuck it. Yeah. This is gonna be a lot of spicy shit for fucking our boy Maximilian to throw into the fucking
what a time, bro.
Rec center.
What a time.
This football player shirt is sick. I need to get this. All right, moving on.
Well, look, we obviously cared about Bin Trill merch. And maybe you didn't care about it. And what's funny, I was having this conversation with a few of my boys. So the group chats are getting active because we're really stoked for this wedding that I'm headed to.
Yeah.
Asher with the big hog finally found a lady that could fucking tame that thing. And
congratulations to Asher and his hog.
And Mrs. Hog. The soon to be Mrs. Hog. We were talking about the movies we'd watch. I started watching Twister. I fell asleep, but I do want to watch it, and I really want to see Twisters.
Mm-hmm.
And Dick Sucking Ron, he tried to watch Boondock Saints last night, and he's like, "Yo, I don't remember if this movie fucking sucked, or if I've always hated this movie, or if I've never seen this movie, but this movie fucking sucks."
Yeah,
and we're all just like, agreed. It's ridiculous. It's very camp. Honestly.
Oh, dude, there was a firefight is like the most camp. Defoe is a camp master when he wants to be.
His little Asian twink,
dude,
fire. Looked like he was straight at the RNC. But
it is very camp.
We had one friend that was like, that's a movie that freshman year I had to pretend to like. And so we started going off on like the things that we kind of had to pretend to like when you're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And you don't want to like cause any waves. And you have to, I'm not even saying like you didn't it's not a cultural blind spot. It's like stuff you like. For me, it was like Regina Spektor.
Is this
right? Like,
who the? I guess Vassar would
exactly.
be a big Regina
exactly.
Spektor fucking demo.
Katrina, like like
the hurricane.
No, I'm kidding. No, so that got us thinking like, what's some shit that you and I have, whether it's for work purposes or because we don't want to like look not cool. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with the audience listening at home, and talk about the things that we've had to pretend to care about and like put on airs as if we do care about. Not like, I'm not saying like we never got into it or it's a cultural blind spot or we've always been like haters of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I thought you should be like, oh yeah, no, that shit's so sick, bro. Yeah. Like, and then but turns out you just did not give a shit.
And we're gonna start this with things. We have to be adults for this to happen, right? Because when you're a kid, peer pressure, I think you could become a different person if you have to.
Well, I think that's a sign of maturity.
Just looking for community.
A sign of maturity is kind of being like standing on business and being like, actually, I don't fuck with that. Like, sorry, not sorry. Like,
I'm trying to think like of the things I've listed down. None of these things are that recent, but they were when I was like legally old enough to vote.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
We talked about it at great length. Supreme. I never really gave a shit about Supreme. And part of me was that was growing up as a contrarian. I was like, I'm a Stussy guy. Yeah. Because it was like, I'm not going to go through the hassle of trying to like buy a Supreme t-shirt. Whereas like Stussy, the old store on Wooster Street was like, no one was ever there. It was fucking free and available for anyone to come enjoy. And it was a part of like, oh, when I'll zig when people zag. So part of me is that being a fucking like annoying contrarian. But yeah, Supreme, like I had to learn about it for like the lore and the history and like literally
and
to
earn your paycheck at complex.com.
Literally being someone at Complex and to like talk about it now. Like you got, and it is such an important founding piece of like menswear, streetwear, where the two conflate or kind of like, combine. But yeah, I never fucking cared.
Do you like it more? Do you like it more now than you ever have? Or are you still...
Probably, honestly.
Do you own any Supreme?
The only Supreme I've ever bought was the Neil Young tee for my dad, which he then ripped the sleeves off to do like work in. Like, like work around the house.
Well, honestly, I wonder, like at the time, I wonder how much you paid, and it was probably like a decent amount. I feel like now.
No, I bought it just.
Oh, you got it on drop day. Yeah. Wow, dude, how lucky, how blessed.
Because all these fucking young, or I guess not young, but all these fucking, like 40-year-old hypebeast dudes like Neil Young, the fuck.
So I think the way we should do this is like you go, I want to comment to see like my experience with the thing you just said, and then I'll go and we'll just go back and forth.
Sure, yeah,
right?
go ahead.
So for Supreme, and this will even apply to the next thing that you talk about, no spoilers, but when I went to Complex, I definitely had no idea really about any streetwear or sneakers. With that said, unlike you who feigned interest, I kind of like dove in on my nerd shit and like actually ended up appreciating these things once I kind of like did the research and then also the enthusiasm, because everyone we worked with, it was like Supreme's the GOAT. Fucking, these Nike sneakers are the best. These are the best. These are the only acceptable Jordans. Like just by osmosis, I think that enthusiasm rubbed off of me. And I became probably kind of like late in the game, quote unquote, like fans of these things. So I'm actually on the flip side where like someone put me onto something and I learned about it and I became a fan.
Okay.
Okay. Here's something that I honestly, like truly in my heart of hearts, do not give a fucking shit about, but like we'll have conversations with people about and like try to stay up in the news.
It's like, enough where you can like have like the cocktail party conversation or whatever version of the cocktail party this subject comes up.
This is fucking mad general and I'm probably going to hurt. I hope I'm not hurting anyone's feelings. Yo, video games, dude. I fucking stopped playing video games when I was like, whatever Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Tony Hawk's Underground, whatever, fucking dropped when I was like 16. That was like the end of it for me. And I have not owned.
Like consciously, or you just grew out of it?
Well, I'm terrible. This should come as no surprise as someone with no fucking athleticism, coordination, whatever. Not that I think that gamers.
Wait, but you're a fire soccer player, no?
Okay. The only time that I ever kind of tapped back in and actually did enjoy it is that I got back into Counter-Strike because that was a huge team building activity at Grail. So, and not that I was ever like even that good or had like any fucking good gaming PC like shit that I fucking play. I just played on my fucking, on this exact laptop.
That was
on
weird.
The streetwear laptop that you're looking at right now because everyone has access to video on throwingfits.substack.com.
I would come to the Grilled office to pod.
I had a gaming mouse though.
I would come to the Grilled office to pod and it'd be like 6 o'clock, 6:30. And you guys would it would be silence. Just like.
It would be a LAN party, bro.
just people tapping their shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you'd be like, go, he's in the room. Yes, got him. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, this is the cool marketplace for what? This is where I'm going to buy bin trills 7 years later?
This is where Supreme never sells out. No, outside of that, like little Counter-Strike phase, which was like me being a team player and then actually enjoying it. Like, I know about like the new systems. I'm like,
really?
Like, I get that like Red Dead Redemption 2 is fire. I know there's a new GTA coming out. Like I kind of, that shit is put in front of me.
Yeah. So again, it's like you keep up with it, but you don't give a fuck about it, but you feel the pressure to keep up with it just as like a guy that's in touch, quote unquote.
And it's like, I don't know. I always lie to myself. Like, knowing about this is like part of my job. But I don't know.
I don't know what that.
I guess we don't really talk about video games. Okay, so that's for me. What about you?
I stopped playing video games in high school just because my interest evolved into getting sex and weed. And then I never really had another video game moment until college when a bunch of friends, someone brought up sophomore year their Xbox. And I never had an Xbox, so I sucked. Like, I didn't know the controller at all.
Sure.
And Halo was a bit like Halo group play, 4 people at once.
I don't know.
You're trying to kill each other.
Oh, yeah, totally.
What's that shit called?
I remember that. Oh, yeah, Halo group play.
But it's not like playing the levels. You're just trying to, like, kill each other.
Right. Yeah, dude. I know.
And I was so bad. It was, like, laughable. It was embarrassing. And I wanted to hang with the boys and hang out. And, like, we would play Dragon Force at full volume.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe that's how that
I can't even pretend. Oh yeah, Dragon Force, fucking classic, dude, for sure.
Dragon Force, or like
is that a level?
Dragon Force is a band of fantasy metal.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, okay. This is how much little I know about Halo and by extended video games. When you said play Dragon Force, I thought you were talking about playing something in Halo, codenamed Dragon Force, not like playing the band Dragon Force, which I also have no idea what you're talking about.
Full volume.
Okay.
Well, Dragon Force, I think they're always been this like nerdy online thing, but they were in I think it's the hardest. The guitarist is like I believe Henry Lee.
Okay.
And he's like fucking sick, and he's like the greatest guitar player of all time. And I think that in
like technically speaking,
yes, in not in like vibes and like not in terms of getting pussy, like Slash, but
so Jimmy Page,
yeah, but in the video game Rock Band, I think Dragon Force is like the hardest level.
Guitar Hero,
yeah, and Rock Band,
sure.
Anyway, I was so bad. I was like, you know what? Like, fuck this. I hate being the worst. Like, my my competitor came out, and I was able to train and like practice to the point where I was like actually coming in like second place. And one time I came in first, and I was like, actually, that was probably the last time I was proud of myself.
So like, well, that's sad. But,
20 years ago.
But so you were so competitive that while you like wanted to obviously bond with the bros, like you like went into the dojo and trained.
Not by myself. I would just like play, like I would sesh, and then like once that happened, I was like, all right, like I reached the pinnacle. I don't care anymore. And then like Fortnite, fucking all this shit, Red Dead Redemption. I bought a PS5 during pandemic.
Sick.
Or sorry, PS4.
Okay,
not a PS5 during like early pandemic. Because like, well, video games, and I was playing The Last of Us, and I was like, this shit sucks. This is boring. I'm not good at it.
I remember you talking about on pod being like, yo, it's too scary. It's giving me nightmares.
It was mad scary. It was about a pandemic and zombies, and then I sold it to Kevin Finnerty, a Discord mod, for a floor price. It was basically me unloading Supreme onto him.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's video games. Okay.
Video games.
Next up,
done and dusted.
Jordans. I never
gave
a shit about Jordans, and I think that I was in this like in between period of where like I was too young to be like an old head that cared about Jordans, and I was too old for like the Jordan revival of like sneakerhead culture that really went crazy when we were at Complex. But the only time but I had to care about them.
Yeah.
Again, this is the time at Complex. I don't know if I told the story, but when I was interviewing there, I basically had the job through like Noah Johnson, Narc Dad.
Yeah.
I had to have 2 more interviews. One with like the editor-in-chief, NCB, the homie, and then one other guy whose name I'm not going to say.
Right. But the scariest motherfucker.
The only man that has ever scared you.
Yeah.
He and I are friends. We're good now, and we've worked other places as well. No, you're still scared of him.
No. I've definitely seen him and talked to him. I'm not. No. You're scared of a motherfucker like that when you work for them because you feel like you could lose your job and they could ruin your life. But when there's no stakes, it's like, why would you be scared of this person?
I think you're still scared of him.
Okay, well,
are you?
I'm not. I'm not scared.
That's exactly what someone that's scared would say. He was like, he was a person of color, and I think that he was effectively trying to like be like, yo, do you have like the street chops to fucking work a complex.
You have the street knowledge.
You got the street chops.
Yeah, that's the thing about complex, right? You need to know the back end CMS, but you also need street knowledge.
Bro, he was like, so like you want to work here? And I'm like, yeah, it's my passion.
Lie.
And then he's like, okay, Jordans? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah. He's like, all right, I swear to God, if this dude had Jordan flashcards, he would have whipped them out and be like, is this a 6 or a 4? And I'd be like,
your Jordan's timetables?
Yeah. I'll need all the Macklemore ones. Yeah. No, he's like, so if I put like a Jordan 5 in front on the table right now, you'd be able to know what it is. And I'm like, bro, yeah, of course. Come on, Jordans. It's a 5. It's a 5. And he's like, okay.
He just took you at your word?
He had to because he didn't have any. There were no
cards.
He's like, if he could have, he would have pointed Jordans because he's the type of guy to like have Jordans like on display and be like, yo, what Jordans are those? And be like, the Michael ones? Like,
yeah. Well, like
anyone, Jackson, Jordan, Tyson.
Yeah. I definitely had to learn my Jordan's timetables for sure.
You had a Jordan's phase.
Yeah, but also, and this is a perfect emblematic anecdote of how like I also was like capping and learning in real time is I didn't know that the Jordan 1, there's obviously the iconic from 85, you have your high, and yeah, there's the lows and shit, but I didn't realize that there was a Jordan mid. And the Jordan mid is a stain on sneakerhead fucking society. And I remember that I was like, oh, wait a second. I can just buy. Like, I'm like, and I'm falling in love with this stuff because it's cool. It's of the moment. I'm surrounded by all these sneaker enthusiasts. Again, it's rubbing off on me via osmosis. So I'm like, oh, let me cop some Jordans. And I'm like, what? All white ones. Let's go. And I got mids, dude. And I fucking will never forget the shame that I then found out. And no one like was like, this motherfucker wearing mids. But I was like, dude, there's pictures of me wearing them in like street style. I thought I was crushing. And I was like, damn, this is crazy. These are so easy to get. Yeah, they're easy to get because they're fucking mids and you're not supposed to wear them. And looking back, I am absolutely, truly fucking ashamed and disgusted.
I thought you had a pair of in your all black Larry era.
I had black cat.
Did you have some black? No, you had some black like 6s, no?
No, see, you don't know your Jordans. Those are 4s. That's the
good 4s.
Those are the Air Caramonicas, the Black Cat 4s. I had a pair of those. I have a pair of 85 fucking Chicagos, which I still own. I had Bread 4s.
You had the Virgil Abloh UNCs.
I had the UNC ones, which I sold used for like, I sold them to Kartik. Kartik bought them for me, and I was like, "Yo, like, because I'm selling them for, because that's an expensive shoe." It wasn't.
I know this is a 4, but in my head you were wearing a 6 because it had like some like white and gold detailing up top. Sorry.
I will say, I don't hope Kartik isn't mad that I say this, but he was like, "Oh yeah, like I'll overpay." He's like, "I'm gonna take these to India and make even double." He's like, they want them so bad. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll find a mark," because they were worn like once or twice.
See, I thought you had these.
No,
these 6s.
The Olympic 6s. No, sir.
Yeah.
And I had Raptor 7s. And I even had fucking Bread 11s.
So
I had actually a lot of Jordan. Jeremy moved out of his sneakerhead phase, and because dude, I had Wolf Gray 5s as well. Jeremy just gave me Jordans.
He's like good Jordans. He's like, you don't know anything you're talking about. You don't care about this, but here, you seem like a happy black hole of consumption. Just take these off my hands.
But I definitely had a Jordan phase, and while the only pair I have left are the 85 Chicagos, because that is like, I don't know. That feels like it feels like something that would be hung up on the wall like art in a streetwear store. But like outside of those, all the Jordans they're done. They're gone. Yeah. They're out the building. I did like Jordans.
I posted back when Instagram was just like you just posted on it and it didn't matter. Like I posted a pair of Russ Bankston's 85 ones.
Sick.
That were like shredded.
Yeah. Crumbling.
And like very randomly they pop up on a zoo board or something and I get a notification that people like liked my photo. I'm like, the fuck? Like, damn, stop scrolling that far back. Stop.
Yeah. I'm sure people will scroll back and find them again as they are wanting to do when we mention old Instagram.
All right, what about you? What's your next shit?
All right, here's another one
that you pretended to care about but actually didn't give a fuck about.
This is a college era one. Obviously, you've made fun of me, but I for this a lot, and I publicly copped to this. But like discovering like actual good hip hop at 18 via Lil Wayne, via the Carter 2. While I was learning about hip hop, I had a very good friend of mine in college, shout out Griff, who was like super into like indie. So here's the thing. This is how little I even know about this fucking genre, because you have conscious hip hop, you have backpack rap, and then you have like, what's raucous records? Like what would be Atmosphere or Aesop Rock or
that's more backpack.
That's backpack. Anyway,
conscious is more like Dead Prez, Common, Talib Kweli.
And backpack is like Kanye.
Conscious rap is like people that are like rapping for the for the betterment of like the black experience.
Is Rage Against the Machine conscious? New
no,
metal?
They just fucking rock.
Yeah, they're the best. So my boy was like super into it, and because I'm like literally every day being put on to hip hop, because the only experience I had was Puff Daddy and the Family, All About the Benjamins.
Whoa, buddy.
Rock remix, no Diddy, and then Big Willie style. All the shit is being like is flying at me fast. I'm trying to figure out.
And you couldn't tell that they all looked the same to you. It all sounded the same to you.
No, it all sounded very different. Some good, some bad. But like hearing like R.A. the Rugged Man or some shit that like, and I'm sure there are all these guys are.
R.A. the Rugged Man, white.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Honestly, everyone I mentioned, Atmosphere, Ari the Rugged Man, Aesop Rock.
All white.
All white. my boy, shout out my boy Griff, who's putting me on. He is a white guy from Boston, so that would make sense.
LP fucking, yeah, exactly.
But like all that shit, which like now I don't know if I would ever fucking revisit at all. But like being like, yeah, and it's not so much I was pretending, but I'm like, it definitely wasn't as good as fucking Cash Money Records or Dreams Coming True, I'll tell you that. But I was like trying to get into it. And if you're in someone's whip and they're like, yo, I'm going to put you on. And you're like, yeah, this shit is fucking cool, dude, for sure.
It's so funny. Like, this is not like the theme of what we're doing, but I'm so embarrassed by how much I was into that like level. Not like conscious rap. I like Dead Prez, never like Common. But the amount of backpack rap, like fucking... Like you're talking about, Atmosphere, A$AP Rock, fucking A$AP Rock was not white.
What, are you sure? Let's look him up.
No, sorry, I'm thinking of Blackalicious. Blackalicious was not white.
I would hope that he was black, dude.
Prince Ali was a albino black man.
Okay.
A$AP Rock was white.
Okay.
But I can go even deeper. Fucking cunning linguist, idea and abilities.
Cunning linguist?
Idea and abilities.
Yeah.
Cunning linguists.
Yeah.
Lyrics Born was
I remember that
because
guy.
he was half Japanese from the Bay. Yeah, bro. Like nonfiction, Ill Bill, Necro.
Yes.
All these. It's embarrassing.
The Moral Technique. Obviously, Moral Technique is like a meme.
Jurassic 5, even.
Dude, Jurassic. I fucked with Jurassic 5. Oh, Dilated Peoples.
Playground Tactics, the rabbit in the hat
Jurassic
tricks.
5 was kind of good. Do you think that would hold up? No way, right?
No.
What of all this shit, what should our outro music be?
Yeah, I want it to be Dragon Force.
No, dude.
Okay. We'll think about it. But yeah, bro.
But even like, I mean, I know Run the Jewels is like whack because they're old heads, but like, I remember being turned on to LP. Like, he literally has that song, The Full Retard, which is like an all-time fucking. You ever hear that song?
No, I've never been into Run the Jewels, and I guess that's something I'm like, yeah, these guys fucking rock. I'm like, I've never listened to a Killer Mike song, except for one song he has with Big Boy. That shit was.
Well, dude, Killer Mike. See, this is all right. Let's get real on Killer Mike for a second. Like decent politics that have maybe like gotten a little too centric as he gets older. But like, when he was full Dungeon Family, and that's how he got put on, and he was like featured on Outkast records and shit, like he was awesome. Yeah. But like, I feel like the Grammy winning fucking Killer Mike now is maybe not, or is definitely not cool.
I'm going to raise you one further and say that I didn't really give a shit about early Kanye, but had to pretend to it.
I didn't either.
Because like, him coming out was right when I was like sick. I had kind of had my fill. My cup runneth over of conscious backpack rap. And I was like, all right, I don't need any more of this. This guy just talking about fucking, his polo shirts and shit.
Right.
And then
the College Dropout comes out in 2004. And I'm with you. While the Through the Wire video, like on MTV2, is like, cool. Who's this guy? He almost died. What's happening? He's produced amazing beats for all these cultural hip hop luminaries. But I'm like I want to listen to like Interpol and the Strokes.
Well, Gold Digger was huge when I was in college. That was like the fucking jam.
Of course.
Jesus Walks.
Sure.
Through the Wire, I guess early on. But there was a moment where, again, back to
Diamonds from Sierra Leone was sick.
A little bit. Back to early Complex days. There was when Good Music Fridays was happening, right?
Awesome.
And I forget. I'm blanking on the name of the song, but it's one with Push and Ghostface Killah. Shake that body, that body.
Shake that. Yeah. What is wait, are you sure that was not on Have a Good Time with Gio? Is that not on that Cruel Summer tape though?
Maybe.
I think because the whole thing with Good Fridays, which were amazing. I mean, Christian.
So it was New God Flow. It was not a Good Music Friday.
But the Good Music Fridays songs, from what I remember, so many fucking stone cold classics in there. My favorite being Christian Dior Denim Flow. That was all leading up to him dropping Dark Twisted Fantasy and then Watch the Throne. So that's all happening in 2011, 12.
Yes,
that was
and,
iconic.
And
he was the man.
And this happened when Complex was small enough where like a new song would drop and like someone would just like send out a group email to everyone.
Throw it on in the fucking pit, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And
newsroom going.
And then like people would just like be like, yo, shit's fire. Oh, bars. Like, yo, you hear that one line? And it's like, yo, what's the list we can make of this? Like best bars. Who's got it? And then I emailed and it was like my third day at Complex. I was like, does anyone have the version that's just Pusha and Ghostface?
You wanted to off that?
And then someone like knocks on the office like, yo, dude, you shouldn't say that you want the song without Kanye West because
HR needs to talk to you.
Yeah, Noah Callan Bever is like best friends with Kanye West, and you shouldn't.
Was it Cheryl?
No, I don't know who it was. Like, did you? I think it was Nart. I think it was Nart. He's like, dude, just like word of advice,
so
like, don't publicly hate on Kanye West in the Complex office.
I know you're new around here, but like there's a couple things you need to learn, guy.
Yeah.
My favorite, I don't know if you have a favorite moment of like new music dropping and then like the newsroom going crazy, but All Day CDQ when it came out. I mean, that song is fucking awesome. Like the fact that that's like a fucking, I mean, I know that Kanye has fucking fallen off crazy in a lot of different respects, but like the fact that
All Day, buddy.
But the fact that song is like a total throwaway Lucy, and obviously there's the iconic Brit Awards performance where like
also Theraflu. Another Lucy banger.
Theraflu.
When Yeezus dropped,
Theraflu made it. They had to change the name because Theraflu sued them. That's on that fucking. That's on the Cruel Summer mixtape as well.
See, but clearly anyway. you didn't care about early Kanye, but mid-career Kanye, your passion.
Once graduation, when he changed the sound to become a stadium selling out global superstar. That's when my pure unbridled stand-up started, and that's when I basically never missed a tour and was fucking locked in until he started absolutely sucking dick.
Yeah. All right. Continuing down the music vein, something that I had to pretend to care about but never really gave a shit about was this is a half truth because Garden State I feel like was like the movie where it's like, oh my God, the soundtrack. And I kind of had to care about it to like talk to girls. But I had always been like, yo, Garden State fucking sucks. But by extension, I never, and Chef, if you're listening, cover your ears. I never gave a fuck about that era of early 2000s indie rock and what we now call indie sleaze. I'm talking The Strokes. Mm-hmm. And yes, they're like New York City band. I'm talking the yeahs, except Maps bangs. I'm talking, what was that band you made me play?
Interpol.
That shit, what was it, PDA? PDF? That shit fucking is trash.
James and I were pre-proing and I mentioned Interpol. He didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, just throw on PDA, which was like the single from Turn on the Bright Lights, a classic record. You lasted 30 seconds. That's what she said.
Last night I had PDA. I'm fucking on
the Strokes and Interpol do not sonically sound the same, even if they are of the same era.
This was an era when I like after college I lived in the Lower East Side, and like that was we were going out to, and this is a little after, like 5 years after, like the height of like Meet Me in the Bathroom, like 2009, 2010. Mm-hmm. But I was going to like pianos and shit, and like all these places that are mentioned in Meet Me in the Bathroom. Yeah. And I had to care about it because it was the moment, but I was like, I do not like this music. I just want to go home and listen to Lil Wayne and MF Doom.
Yeah.
That's it.
And maybe because for me, it was like this as a Jersey guy. Well, I rewatched Garden State within the past year, and I went in being like, I think this is going to be straight fucking corn on the cob. I legit think it holds up and it's good. On the flip side, I think the downfall of the American male started with Garden State. No, well, I think the more detrimental movie, which I also rewatched, which fucking was abysmal, 500 Days of Summer.
Sure.
That is fucking dog
But which
shit.
came out first?
Let's look it up.
I think Garden State came out
I think
first.
Garden State, he won a fucking Oscar for or he won a Grammy. Garden State is 2004, and by the way, the music in Garden State is like The Shins and Belle and Sebastian.
Yeah.
And then,
500 Days of Summer 2009.
That's more indie sleaze. And he's even dressed indie sleaze in that cardigan and his little Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's more like twee fucking.
It is
like,
very,
it's Wes Anderson
twee-ish.
Twee twink.
So you hated that era. I love
the shit.
that era.
Oh my God, the Shins. Oh my God, Broken Social Scene. And that's like the indie rock. That's not the indie sleaze.
And I guess like the Smiths is part of that. And the Smiths are. Do you like the Smiths?
I like the Smiths.
Okay.
But the Smiths are not that era. Right, they're earlier. That then it's like, you ever heard of the Smiths?
Okay, are you a Smiths?
I don't
guy?
like Wilco.
Oh yeah,
I don't like Joanna Newsom.
What about Yeah, that shit's all trash. I'm with you.
I don't like a postal service card.
No, the postal service is incredible.
No,
dude, come on.
It's
Chuck is gonna kill you, dude. That's like.
What I'm saying is, I never cared about it, and it was like it was the moment. And then listening back now, as someone that wasn't into it, I'm still not into it.
And that's fine. I mean, I was just going to ask you, just because we're just fucking riffing at this point, but are you a Smiths guy or a Cure guy? And is that a fair argument?
Do you have to be one or the other?
I
like both. The Cure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that because Jen and I were going.
The Spider-Man is coming to beat you up tonight.
Both are great. I think I have to go with Smiths.
Pictures of You.
Pictures of You is my favorite Cure song.
Subway song?
And that's the when we eulogize Pepper on Reels, we use that song, and I can't listen to that song and not get very emotional.
Okay, so when you die the next 20 years and we are sprinkling your ashes at the Clando bar, really? Is that okay?
I don't know. I was just thinking, of the dumbest thing.
Yeah, we'll play that. We'll play that. Okay, what about you?
Another one for me. Oh, let's talk, since we talked about Garden State, 507. All right, here are the movies that I have paid money and I've seen them in theaters, and I can talk and I can have a debate and I can talk to people about. And while I don't think I would lie and be I love them, and I also have my favorites within, these are the three big ones that are very popular that I have probably lied about enjoying to not really hurt someone's feeling. First,
or just to not have the enthusiast come at you. Right, that's another reason why you pretend to like something, so that these fucking hardcore dudes don't jump down your throat. Yeah,
though all these hardos are fucking nerds,
and they're not getting any throat.
Star Wars, the entire MCU, and Lord of the Rings.
And to be clear, you have seen these.
I've seen the amount of money that I have paid to see. I don't know how many movies are in the MCU, but if we went to check off the boxes, bro, I've seen most of them in theaters, and I've paid good money.
But still the current ones,
no, I finally fucking stopped. I didn't see the newest Guardians of the Galaxy.
There's 33 films in
I've probably seen
the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I've definitely seen 2/3.
Okay, that's a lot.
More. I'm saying at least.
Oh my God, there's gonna be at least 20 more.
How many? What phase are we in right now?
I don't know.
Well, you're looking at it.
Well, I closed it.
All right.
See, I think that's the difference when it comes to movies and TV and a lot of things, I think, between me and you. If something doesn't interest me, and this is kind of antithetical to this whole segment. Now, if something doesn't interest me, I'm not gonna waste my money or time further investing into it. So MCU stopped after the last Avengers. I'll throw in a Thor.
Oh, you saw Infinity War.
Yes.
That was the thing.
The last one?
Yeah. That was I think that's when before it went absolutely down the fucking tubes.
Sure. And it's turns out there's a quantum universe where maybe the people didn't die. Shut the fuck up.
I honestly feel I know you're making a joke. I think that's probably what it is.
I think it is. Star Wars, I think I've seen them. I don't know. It's in bits and pieces here and there. Lord of the Rings, I had a really rainy day. I have friends that are really into Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. There's a really rainy day, and in school, and it's all right, let's smoke a bunch of weed and just watch all three. How many are there?
There's 3.
Watch all 3. It's 12 hours.
Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers. I was going to say the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And then the Return of the King.
So we're
I think they're okay. And like, yo, Twin Towers, the two towers with like Helm's Deep, that's pretty fucking sick. Return of the King, that's a Best Picture winner. Respect the Academy.
Return of the King is like all fighting, right?
But like, but people, no, the Two Towers I feel like is all fighting. That's why it's the best one.
Okay.
There's a lot of politics and not politics, but like big picture shit. Because I got to wrap it up. I guess Lord of the Rings is probably of all the things I mentioned, probably the one that I like the best. I feel like Star Wars is what I was when I was younger.
Well, kind of. Lord of the Rings. This is what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Lord of the Rings kind of got ruined for me because I invested like 10 hours of my day, and we have like 3 hours left. And Dick
You
Sucking
watched it with
Ron,
the boys.
Dick Sucking Ron goes, "Yo, man, I get so emotional when like they bow down to the elves at the end." I'm like, Ron, you just fucking ruined it for me.
Oh,
you gave it away. I was invested and you ruined it.
Them?
I'd never seen them.
Wow.
And then recently, like in the past 2 years, I like got high and tried to watch. I was like, let me try watching the best one, the Twin Towers, which is like all fighting, right?
The Two Towers.
I accidentally, and I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, where's the fucking fighting? Like this
When
is.
you're talking about the battle for Helm's Deep. See, I even know this, and
I'm
like,
like,
I don't
where's
even like it.
Where's the fuck exactly? Where's the fucking fighting? Where's the fucking fighting? I'm like, okay, it ended. What? Like, there's no fighting. It turns out I watched The Return of the King.
Oh, you watched the wrong
And I'm
one.
like, what the fuck is? Oh my god damn it. But anyway, what I'm saying is the difference between you is if it like I stopped watching season 3 of The Bear.
Yeah,
But have you finished it?
I did.
Do you like it?
No.
Yeah. So like, if you don't like something, you're a completist.
Yeah.
Right?
Low-key. I have too much time on my hands.
will just fucking hit eject and continue watching Love Island USA.
Fantastic. One thing that we
Absolutely.
can both agree on. Okay, one more thing. Before we move on and wrap this up with the last couple ones from you, let me stand on business real quick. One kind of big popular nerd fucking franchise thing that I have never consumed 1 page, 1 second of, whether it's fucking literature, whether it's a movie, and I never will. Harry Potter, bro. For babies. I will not do it.
Yeah.
Well, I won't do it.
You're a trans ally.
Oh, yeah. That's why. No, I'm not. Oh, wait. Oh, because,
Wait,
no.
yes, you
Wait,
are.
Fuck. Right. J.K. Rowling.
Do you hate trans people?
J.K. Rowling is a turf.
She, her hates they, thems.
Right. She's a trans exclusionary radical feminist. She is a bad person. And yes, it's not because it's nerdy and for babies. It's because of J.K. Rowling's politics.
Yeah. I
do stand with trans.
I read all
people.
7
I have
books.
a fucking Silence of the Lambs tattoo.
I did a 7 pandemic 7-book marathon and just like tore through them. You read them in like 2 days.
Are they? They're good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Jenna loves them too. She's always been trying to get me. Okay, which is the best book and or movie?
I don't know. I haven't seen the movies. I don't know the titles.
The Prisoner of Azerbaijan.
I don't know, bro. Harry keeps one in the chamber. Like he got a hot one in the chamber.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Dumbledore's gay.
Let's wrap up with your final one.
All right, my last one. Kind of embarrassing. I've had skating.
Oh, because skating is cool and dope.
Yes,
skating.
But I don't know. I don't know the skaters. I don't know the fucking teams. The extent of my skating, I did it when I was young because it was cool and
yeah.
And then I cracked my nuts really bad and immediately gave it up.
Okay.
It was what the cool kids were doing.
You had a
obviously,
slam that traumatized you forever.
Yeah. I'll watch quarter snacks, the top 10.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
I'll obviously wear skate adjacent shit, but in terms of knowing the parts and knowing the guys, I'm just this is a sport that I don't have enough room in my brain to learn more guys' names.
You're not voting for Sodi.
No, and I understand what that is.
Yeah.
And I'll fucking watch Tyshawn. I know about Tyshawn's King of Pop.
Yeah.
I watched King of the Road when it was a show on Vice.
That was a great show.
And I fuck with the Lizard King.
Yeah, Lizard King rocks, dude.
And Dave.
Okay, all right.
That guy Dave.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He's sick. And Panda's Panda.
Lizard, Panda,
Lizard.
Dave. No, I know what you're alluding to here.
There's just too many. It's that thing where it's there's too many people, there's too many names, there's too many there's too much drama. I don't have if I try to learn skating, I'll forget how to drive. I don't have the room in my fucking brain or the capacity.
Yeah, no, skating rules. I love it. I'm a fan. I try to
Absolutely
keep up with the culture, even though I'm not setting foot on a board. God forbid there is a team.
We have a
skate.
We have a skate team.
The Broke Dick
Mongoloids.
Yeah.
But in terms of keeping up with the day to day of it, obviously I know it's cool and it's sick and it's very influential and will forever be the best. And yeah, I watched mid-90s at a screening. Yeah, bro.
Did Outlet Ceramics ever do A24 mid-90s merch? No, right? There
This
was,
was
like, mid-90s.
before.
That was before they tapped in.
This is before A24 really got into bed with online ceramics. I think.
Damn. All right. Well, anyway.
Damn.
R.I.P. to the old online ceramics.
Yeah. R.I.P. to the old Supreme. This has been another episode of the only podcast that matters. Potting on a Saturday. Chef, take us
Are
out.
we going out with, what is it, Dragon Slayer? What is the show?
Well, we could do Dragon Force. We could do some fucking hip hop.
We've
hop.
done that.
I'm just saying hip hop.
Oh.
Anyway,
whatever.
we'll figure it out.
All right,
Chef,
see
take
you
us
guys
out.
next week.